Yeah, let's salute. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Pushhands number 2. Today, I want to focus on Peng Li Ziyan. Basically, go through everything that you need to know: structure, energy, application, myth, fact. The goal is for you to understand the real Tai Chi, the truth. Yeah. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and we don't want to keep passing down and spread those misinformation. You know, one class like this is not gonna take you to the next level, let's say the next day. You know, but if you keep working on it, for sure you'll improve. Yeah, so, but the goal is to get the facts straight and learn something, and hopefully you can keep practicing. Okay, so first, the structure, the position, and the form. Each move has a different energy, especially in moves like this when there's 4. They have a lot of opposite energy, like the peng. The peng, it means open. You can think of a peng energy like a tent. Yeah, any structure that's held up by something, anything that's open. So that's kind of like peng. So the peng energy is rounded. It has to be expansive, right? So you can't do peng close like this. Yeah, so that's the peng energy. And Li is to yield. Yeah, so Li is not an initiation of energy. So generally, when you use Li, when other person use energy on you, when they come forward, you go with it. You can really direct their energy to the side by mainly letting their energy slide by. Yeah, so it's not so much of grabbing them and pulling them with your own energy. Yeah. So the Z is sometimes misunderstood. Z, you finish just like this. So you can use the application using here to press people. But really the Z energy is to close, is to use 2 hands when you squeeze, right? So when you put things together like this, that's to press them together. Z, like when you have in push hands, like when you hold the arms, you can put the arms together, you can use the arms against the body, or hands and body. Anytime that you try to squeeze and make them more compressed, that's Z. Yeah. And then when the on, it's not actually a push. Okay, the on is also a control. So these 4 moves are more like the yin moves of Tai Chi. And Tai Chi is all about yin and yang. The Tai Lian Zhou Kao is application where you initiate the moves. So it's more using the application. The first 4, Peng Li Ziyan, is mainly used for control. So we talked about the peng is to keep the opponent away. It's like a lift too. So peng is not just forward. You could be going upwards, outwards, downwards. So basically just keeping the opponent away from the body. Roll, the Li is to roll back, is to let them come through. So peng is like to stop them. Li is to let them go through. And Z, we just talked about, is to compress. Yeah, so, and then the on is to hold or pin. So it's not a push. It doesn't translate into push. On is to hold. Like push in Chinese, like in Tui Shou, it means Tui. Tui means push, right? So on means it's just, again, keeping the opponent in control, to control the arm by keeping them in front of you. So like when you hold something down, like if the paper is gonna fly away, you put your hand on it so it doesn't fly away. right? That's on. Like when you wash your pet, like a dog, you have to hold it on. You know, you anju, just control it so it doesn't move. That's on. So you can see this for energy is more passive, right? So it's not using it being aggressive, but you can. So at the end of the pump, I can always use energy to push, right? At the end of the rollback, once I go with the opponent, I can always pull, right? I can add some energy, make it into an application. So the is the same thing. Once you pin them, to force them basically is into an uncomfortable position, okay? So once you do that, you can apply some fudge into it. So you can use any move, even though it meant to control from the on. Yeah, so these 4 moves is a posture, individual move, each is an individual move in the form, but it's also the 4 basic energies that we use in Tai Chi. So people always talk about the application, but this is the 4 out of the 8 basic energies. Yeah, so it's it is in every move. So, but doesn't have to look the same. Like the pung, for instance, the roundness, the open, right? So when we do the single whip, it's the same thing. Okay. So when we do the single whip, if your elbow is too low, like maybe you can see it better here, you don't have the pung energy. Okay. So to have the pung, what you're doing is you're expanding, you're blocking out slightly to keep it a little rounded. Yeah. So here, you want to keep the arms rounded, but not round enough like you hold the ball. If I turn too much, my hands are going inwards. So that's too much because this is still going straight. So you want to have a little bit of the pung energy, right? So you can find this 4 energy just about everywhere. So you don't have to look for moves that look like these moves. Okay, so it's just the energy. Anytime that you push, it could be an on, could be a strike, but it also could be an on, even let's say the brush knee and push. The brush knee and push, it meant to be a push, but you don't have to be. But even when you do the push, you can use it as an on. So basically, when you understand these 4 energies, it's everywhere in the form. It makes your form better. That's all Tai Chi principles: to be full, to be rounded, you know, to gather, like the press. You know, there's a lot of gathering. That's also the right energy. Okay, so just a little bit on the position of the body, because everybody does it a little differently, but it has to make sense. You know, at the end of the day, we want Tai Chi to be strong, to be powerful, naturally, not using a lot of strength, and also to be comfortable, right? So it's not just about being strong, but if you're strong, then you're comfortable. If you're comfortable, then you're strong, okay? So now on the pump, we're using one side, okay? So a lot of time people turn too far to the other side, okay? On the pump, can you go tell them to be quiet? On the pump, your body should be slanted, okay? Because let's say here I'm using the right arm, okay? So here my body must turn to the right, okay? So you don't want to turn to the left, because when you turn to the left, you are taking away energy from the right arm, right? So you see here, when I turn to the right, energy goes into the right arm. And at the same time, when my arm goes forward, I'm turning my back. And also I'm opening my hips, right? So when I push my energy down into my legs, I'm pushing into my hips. So you see the hips, everything's turning. The rotation, push from the ground, it all turns the same direction. So that makes the pung strong. So the pung, you have to keep your chest a little slanted, which is about 45 degrees, okay? On the rollback, it's a different move, so we're going backwards, right? So you have to turn. So you can't go back and look to the front like this, right? So you're not using your waist. So it's the same thing.